amazing Rocco Fiorentino. How old were you then? You were like first or second grade?
Yeah, I think I was about 8. That was at Birdland in New York. I love that place. It's unbelievable.
And I think when they introduced you, they said you were, at that time, you're the youngest person who ever performed at their jazz club. I mean, to have that, where do you get that presence from, to be a, grade schooler and sing like that in front of people?
I don't know. I've always loved music. I've always loved playing piano and singing, and just having music a part of my life. I started playing piano when I was 2, and singing when I was about 5. And I just have loved it ever since. I love being on stage and interacting with the audience, and just performing and enjoying myself while I do it. And I think that kind of was always in me from a young age and grew as I got older. But, at 6, I was standing on stage singing like Margaritaville and things like that, So.
Oh, and now where is this? This is when he was is this the same club? And there was your dad walking off stage?
Yeah.
Is
this
the same place?
Same club.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is, look at his presence. I mean, you just have this presence about you. Oh, he's got a little cough. But I think one of the first times that I met you guys, my husband and I were at one of your Little Rock events at the Constitution Center. He was probably younger than this.
Yes, he was.
He was maybe 6 at the time?
I think he was 6 when we first met.
Oh my goodness.
So it's been quite a few years. But I think I always say to Rocco that I really believe that his inspiration and his passion for music came when he was in the incubator at Children's Hospital, because we used to play jazz music through the incubator.
Oh my goodness.
All day, all night.
So it was his song of survival.
And we're telling our age because it used to be the little the little cassettes that we used to play, and they would flip them over.
Yeah, no iPhones or iPods.
No,
or
not technology
things.
that we have
Which is
today.
hard to imagine, right?
But I think that that influenced him in terms of listening to that kind of music, because they always said that because you can't handle premature children till they're of a certain age, because there's so many wires and they have so many IVs going into them, that one of the best stimulations is music, because it stimulates the brain even though you can't really hold them to caress them. Because it was almost probably 2 months before I was able to hold them in my arms.
That's incredible.
And
so the music held you.
Yes, the music held us together. And even when he came home, as part of our routine, I would sit him on my lap and play nursery rhymes with him on the piano. And then he got way better than I was.
Yeah, she won't play for
so
me
I
anymore.
won't play anymore, because by kindergarten he was already surpassed me. So.
Do you feel like music, though, too, Rocco? They say it's an international language.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
absolutely.
it's like what you have in common with the common person.
World. Yeah, it's incredible. I have been going to Berklee College of Music for a summer program for the past 3 years. And there's people that come in there for that program that are from 80 different countries. 80 different countries. And it's crazy, because you can sit with, somebody from Turkey and somebody from Italy and somebody else from Japan and all play together. And
Which is
they
awesome.
may not be able to speak other than 2 words of English, but you can just jam together, and it's like, wait, you're from another country. This is kind of amazing. Like, how is this happening? It's incredible.
That's wonderful. So what year are you in high school now?
I'm now a senior.
You're a senior, but you're graduating early.
I'm a senior, but I'm graduating early, so I should be a junior, but I'm a senior now.
Because you're a straight A student.
Yes.
You're a perfectionist like your mom. Little type A personality going on.
Yeah,
there.
right.
How much homework do you have a night?
I got a good amount, and I'm taking
like 4 hours?
More than that, way more than that.
Wow.
And I'm taking some online courses as well, so that I can graduate early.
Which is incredible. And so one teenager that I know said, well, wait a minute, how is he going to graduate early? How does he do math? Like when you talk to kids who say, well, wait, how do you do math? And so that gets us into the world of Braille, which, Tina, that was something that you talked to me years ago about, that with Braille reading, it's pretty incredible at the start of when you were trying to teach your son to read. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? And you actually ended up before the legislature, as I recall.
It was a critical point for us because we had to make a decision as a family whether Rocco was going to go to a school that was strictly for the blind and visually impaired, or were we going to try and get him into a mainstream setting within our community. And once we started to do the little research, visit the schools, I really felt as a parent that although Rocco couldn't see, it was really the only thing that he was challenged with. He really was a kid first. He just happened to be a kid who couldn't see. But I felt as though that he would be able to survive in the community in a mainstream setting. So when I went to the school district, they said to me, Mrs. Fiorentino, we don't know what to do with a child who has no vision. I said, well, I'm not going to leave him on your doorstep. Obviously, I'm going to provide as much service and support as we can as a family to make it all work. So it's a win-win for everybody. And I would tell you that we are so blessed that we chose that school district and that the school district has embraced it, because it really has been a rewarding journey for them and for Rocco. And I think that along the way, as we started in the process of going through a mainstream setting, we realized that Braille was not every day. When you go to a school for the blind, everything's Brailled, the doors, everything that you touch has Braille on it. When you're in the real world, Braille is very, very minimal at best. And what we started to find out is when he was in kindergarten, he came home, he was so frustrated. And he said, Mom, I can't keep up with the kids in class. They're turning their pages faster than I can read. He said, I need more Braille. And you can imagine the personality of him coming home that day. And I said, well, Rocco, I'm not quite sure what we can do. He goes, we got to tell somebody.
So you ended up before the legislature.
So we went to the legislators, and Rocco.
I was 5 at the time.
He was 5. And
5 years old.
He had
I vaguely remember that.
He had a little device that it looks like a computer today, but has no screen, obviously. And he read a little speech in Braille, and he asked the legislator to support him in getting an education, and that he needed more Braille to do that. And they listened at age 5.
How awesome is that? That's a great feeling, isn't it, Rocco?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I think, at 5, I didn't really fully understand what a legislator was. I just knew okay, I'm talking to people that make decisions. That was the extent of I think what I understood. And then the impact of it, I was like, wow, it worked.
I made a difference.
I did it, yeah. And I think from that point on, I always kind of spoke up for myself in general, but I think it just made me even more aware of how much
how much one person can make a difference. That's the truth. We're going to continue with Rocco and Tina Fiorentino when the Dawn Show comes right back.